All systems are okay. Those are James Cameron's first words upon reaching nearly 36,000 feet down the Marianas Trench at 7:52 a.m. Monday Guam time. Although it's been a 7-year journey, the culmination of the dive really started over a week ago as Cameron came to Guam and prepared for the dive, waiting on weather conditions to permit. However, it was at 5:15 this morning where the Deep Sea Challenger submersible was launched into the Pacific Ocean some 200 miles southwest of Guam. Upon reaching the Challenger Deep, Cameron resurfaced at 12 noon local Guam time. Cameron said, quote, "Most importantly, though, is the significance of pushing the boundaries of where humans can go, what they can see, and how they can interpret it. Without the support of National Geographic and Rolex and their unwavering belief that we could successfully make it to the deepest point in the ocean and back, this would not have happened." As he has mentioned, Cameron wanted to share his journey with the rest of the world, specifically on Twitter, as Cameron himself, National Geographic, along with Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen, provided up-to-the-minute updates on Twitter while listening to underwater communications from on board his yacht, the Octopus, which pulled into Apple Harbor last week to refuel and get supplies. They left Guam Saturday and joined the Mermaid Sapphire and Cameron. The same went for the people of Guam, as those closest to the dive, both personally and professionally, had nothing but joy for Cameron, not only for making history, but putting Guam on the map. George Washington High School marine biology teacher Linda Tatro actually went on an expedition that took a remotely operated vehicle called the Nereus to the bottom of the trench, where it spent 14 hours sending up video footage of rocks and some worm-like species and amphipods. And while Cameron holds the first solo dive down the trench, Tatro tested the impact the trench had on certain objects.
The pressure down there is really extreme, and so I took a styrofoam head. This is what people put their wigs on to keep them nice. And I sent it with the Nereus. And when it came back up, it looked like this. So the pressure is really extreme down there. And that's why it's so expensive to go there. That's why so few people have been, or so few vessels have been. I also put a styrofoam cup with the Nereus, and it came back like this. So can you have a better souvenir of the trench than this?
And while you can see Mount Everest as you fly over it, you can't really tell what's at the bottom of the trench unless you make the dive. UOG Marine Lab Director Dr. Lori Raimundo says not only did they provide logistical support to the expedition team, but opened UOG's facilities to do more research and possibly host lectures on their findings.
But I think it's innately interesting to live so close to such a fascinating place on Earth, that one of the few places that about which we know almost nothing. It's one of the few undiscovered places. It's a suitable place to launch such an expedition, and I think that it's certainly really enriching the university's atmosphere at the moment. Just the students that have been able to interact with the scientists, and it's just and that is likely to continue.
According to a press release from National Geographic, short of the estimated 6 hours, Cameron stayed on the bottom for about 3 hours and collected samples for research in marine biology, microbiology, astrobiology, marine geology, and geophysics. He also captured still photographs and moving images to visually document the Marianas Trench.